Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in to yet again another post-match reaction show here at Anfield Road TV. Should be getting joined by Kevin from Spider LFC very soon as well, Reds. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on what was a very impressive Liverpool performance, going all the way to Turf Moor, limiting, as we know, Burnley to 0 shots on target. James Trafford, obviously the young England's goalkeeper, proving why he moved from Manchester City for big money in the window prior to this new season anyway. But yeah, very, very impressive by Liverpool. What was a stellar performance, in my honest opinion. I know you'd like to have, and we should have really been 2-3-4-0 up within the first 45 minutes. But I think what we've seen from Liverpool this season is very much a patient side of our game, something that we've really improved upon on the back end of last season, where we weren't panicking yesterday, and that was a good thing. We knew and we expected that second goal to come. Obviously, it's a dangerous game to do what we done yesterday, but in all honesty, you look at the quality coming off the bench, Jota the Slotter back in action as well for Liverpool. And we know, and as we spoke about, every single Liverpool fan in relation to how important Diogo is going to be in relation to come what the end of May. I think Jota, as every Liverpool fan said on records countless times, he is Liverpool's probably best finisher at the football club, the most natural gifted finisher, and that just goes to show with the great goal in which he was only on the pitch a couple of minutes and made that desired impact, and it was fantastic to see. But for all the audio listeners as well, we'll be shouting out all the comments in the live section tonight. Big up there, Wiggs. How are we, mate? I hope you're well, and big up Henry as well. And obviously everyone listening or watching this evening, I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas, and you've looked after each other anyway, your friends and family, or anyone that's not celebrating Christmas anyway. Please have had a good December, most importantly. And there's it's what a time it is to be a Liverpool fan. In all honesty, I think the youthfulness within this side. Kev should be joining us a bit later anyway, but I think Joao Quansah, I've got to go straight in there as well. I think prior to this season, I think all of us, when we were doing our shows, we were speaking, do Liverpool need to go out and sign a centre half? And we were talking about the Levi Colders of this world and Hincapie's as well, by Leverkusen and these centre halves. But let's not kid ourselves. We've got a 50, 70, 80 million pound player there for the potential future in Joao Quansah. 20 years old, but he's playing like a senior professional of like 26, 27. But the way in which he handles himself, I don't think any Liverpool fan, I come into that game yesterday so relaxed and at ease, really, that Joao was going to be playing centre half. He's above his years, and hopefully this form and his development does continue, because it's an absolute breath of fresh air, especially with the absence of Joel Matip as well. I think a lot of us in recent weeks were going, oh, could we be able to deal and balance that with the loss of Joel Matip? But obviously we can. I think Joe Gomez, maybe been watching me this season, he's been one of my most favourite players. He's in my top 3 of performers this season, because I think his performances have massively gone under the radar. In all honesty, I think when he has played, we've all known that there's a quality playing in there with Joe Gomez, but I think coming into this season, we wanted to see a bit more of him. But I think last night, yet again, amplified why he's getting quite a lot of plaudits, and rightly so. Obviously, I think I've seen a lot of stuff in recent weeks. Could Joe Gomez could have been Liverpool's captain prior to those bad injuries and his early Liverpool career as well? That's probably Liverpool's longest serving player at the football club, but prior to those injuries, what could have been? But what could have been is the here and now, when Liverpool are absolutely bloody flying as well. Big up there, Padov. How are you, mate? And as Henry said, Quansah is a quality player, so assured, like he's been playing for years. Yeah, and that's what you want, and especially playing alongside the likes of Virgil van Dijk. I think even if any of us played alongside Virgil van Dijk, he'd improve any player. But it's the way in which he handles himself. It's very rare that you do see such qualities in your young centre half, because we've all been Liverpool fans all of our lives, and we've seen centre halves at this football club where they've got very much a rashness about them sometimes when they play. I think Dejan Lovren, he was a okay centre half, but I think that's one thing that we get with Dejan Lovren, the Kyriakos as these well, the Skirtle sometimes in his game as well. That rashness when he's on the ball and when he loses possession, those 5-10 yards where he's going to put a silly foot in or give away a stupid foul in the edge penalty area. But with Kwanzaa, I know I'm jumping the gun really in terms of probably giving him too much plaudits, but I love him. I absolutely love him. And I tell you, it wouldn't surprise me if he's in now the team until the end of May, in all honesty. Fingers crossed he stays fully fit. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And Joe Gomez coming in to the side as well when we need him. Obviously, the absence of Costas and Andy Robbo, but I think everything about Liverpool's game. I know you can speak about obviously the missed chances, but we don't get on. We'll get onto the poor refereeing decisions as well. But big up their chat, and there's a lot easier in the live chat. If you haven't already done so, please do drop a like on the video as well. If you're listening or watching, you're listening on Spotify as well, do drop us a review on the podcast. Massively just help out. What you want to see in the podcasts as well, and the videos. You're very welcome to constructive criticism. I'm always looking to improve, so massively appreciated if you can just give us some improvements and just say how bad the podcasts are. But let us know when you're in the comments. Absolute legends. Big up there, Panov, just saying hello. Big up there, Wiggs. Gomez has really turned it around. Just from Wiggs, he was poor since after winning the league to the point where he looked championship standard. Much better from him. Well, 100% there, mate. 100%. And speak of the devil, and he will appear, and it is Kev. Not quite Joe Gomez, but here we go, Kev.
Just good.
Yeah, hope you had a good Christmas, mate. And
did, man. Yeah. I got to see you, didn't I?
Yeah, that was my presence of being in the same household as me.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the footy as well? For anyone
that
is listening or watching, Kev did fly over from Ireland to watch a couple of the games.
Yeah, it was West Ham and Arsenal. Good games, man. Yeah. Games to catch, destroyed West Ham. Should have beaten Arsenal, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask you a little thoughts on Joe Gomez as well and get your thoughts on the game as well, mate. But we'll just quickly rattle through all these comments as well. I have Panovs, everyone's saying hello. Big up there, Barry. Hope you had a good Crimbo, lad. Is it time to sell Diaz? The guy has to lost his mojo. I think, Barry, it's just difficult, mate. I think, you know me, my thoughts in recent weeks, if you've been watching me. But I think off the back of yesterday's game, I think we've just got to be patient. I think one thing that every Liverpool fan, and this is why our fan base is so loved and adored, like we, apart from outside of Liverpool and all that, but we give our players time. And even when our players are going through difficult moments, that's when we back them even more, Kev. Of course, we want to be seeing better from Gakpo Diaz, but I think what he's been through the last couple of months, it's extremely difficult. I think put me or you or anyone in the shoes of Lucho Diaz over the last couple of weeks, it would have a mental effect on us, not just the mental fatigue, but in terms of his impact on his game. He wouldn't be human if he wasn't getting affected by it.
Yeah, no, I agree in a way, but we're also not playing to what Lucho Diaz does. He's great on the counter-attack. He normally has a lot of space in teams that he plays in. And it'd be kind of a disservice to kind of get rid of him so fast, considering that we've kept Joe Gomez on for 10 years. All of a sudden, he's been good, 2-3 seasons out of those 10 years, he's been brilliant this season. My most, favorite improved player.
Yeah.
Outstanding. And hopefully he's at his peak now where he's going to drive on from here and do what we need him to do. Because I've always liked Joe. It's just that, it's just never worked out for him really in some seasons. But you have to say the same. Well, Lucho's only been there about a year and a bit. Not even. Less. How long is he there?
The year before, last the quad chasing season in January.
January, so a year and a bit. So, he's only there a year. Man, you have to give these players, he's brilliant to have in the squad. He's brilliant to bring off the bench. He will get a goal if he gets a chance, if we're going up against teams that are using the low block. And I'd keep him,
It's probably coincided, Kevin, chat with really the adaptation really of Liverpool. I think any side losing Mane in tip-top form when he's absolutely flying. Any team, even a Real Madrid, if they lost Mane, did notice the quality dip as well. But I think it's a notable change as well, systematically as well, Kev. Off the back of last season, obviously the 3-box-3 formation and the different variety of formations Liverpool played this season. I think it's not just Lucho. We'll speak about Diaz tonight as well. Darwin, who tremendous goal, by the way. We'll get to him. And even the midfield as well, mate. I don't think we even know who Liverpool's... I think on paper, every Liverpool fan will go, yeah, they're the main three. But I think even Jurgen Klopp this season, even when seeing Jones in, Szoboszlai, Endo, whoever that mix is, I think it's second guessing us as fans, but even the players and keeping them on their toes, and even the opposition managers as well. When you've got the likes of Diaz, Gakpo, Nunez, Salah, Harvey when Salah goes as well, there's a lot of attack and fluidity, and that's only going to bode well really for Liverpool for the next weeks and months to come. Really.
Yeah. How about this one? How about we don't have a solid midfield three?
Yeah.
How about we just have everybody battling for the same spots and playing their arse off to get in the team? Only suits Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, sometimes there's always this like mindset you need that solidified three. It's great. If you've got a set team like we had over the last few years, but Liverpool actually recently, more likely this year, have benefited more from rotation than they have from a static 11.
Yeah.
You'd always need a static defense and maybe that one player in front of somebody to play. But, the amount of times we've had to rotate, I don't think there's been 3 games in a row where it's been the same centre-back pairing. Yeah. I don't think it's been the same 3 games in a row where it's been the same back 4. I don't think it's definitely not been 2 games in a row where it's been the same midfield. And, the striker positions are probably the ones that have been more often played, because of the loss of Jota at that time and because Diaz was missing for a couple of games and whatnot. I think we were more forced into kind of playing the same lads up front. But
it's refreshing to see, mate.
It's fresh.
It's refreshing.
Let them all get game time.
Yeah.
Let them all.
And as he said there, lads, the back of last season, we did become massively stale as a team. Like every manager in the league or even Europe would have went, yeah, sounds Liverpool's forward three, that, and that. And that's probably where we have come unstuck in recent times, where obviously it's great to have the starting 11, but I think you look at City, don't get me wrong, we know their second team could probably win the league, but I think with Liverpool now, we'll get Gravenberch in the midfield, we'll get on some midfields tonight as well. As you said, Kev, keeping them on the toes, that's the most important thing as well, Chuck, because it gives every world of possibility. And if players are out of form, then we bring someone in that does deserve a chance, i.e. Gravenberch a couple of weeks ago, he's absolutely flying. And then the last couple of games, he's not had the best games, but he's been given 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 performances. But if Jones is given that 9 out of 10, it's just bringing them in.
I've been saying this since the start of last season, Jack, when we were in that poor form, and I'm like, these lads, they've lost the bit of. I'm like, I don't care who's in the team anymore. I just want them to do the best to us there for Liverpool. I don't care if they're. It's great that we have legends and everybody has legends and stuff like that. But we went through a long period of having 1 to 2 legends in a team, and then the rest being world class elsewhere after leaving us, or just stuck with mediocre outside of Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher. Put Sammy Hoopy into that, I suppose, as well, a little bit at the time. And then you're stuck with a team of other people around that weren't really there for much longer, besides Pepe Reina. Lucas kind of garnered his cult status, over time and became a good player. Kind of reminds me of Endo Smarvin, actually. Endo reminds me of Smarvin and Lucas in how he plays. He's not more likely better as an attacking player. Not a big name, not came in as an attacking midfielder in the start of his career, and then ended up becoming, low line sitting DM and did well for us. But to give Endo props as well for how much he's improved over the last couple of weeks as well. Definitely.
Oh yeah, we'll dedicate a huge section of the show tonight, mate. He's been absolutely amazing. Big up there, John. How good is it as to be seen to see Joe Gomez lately? He is so improved. Credit to him as well. John. Yeah, and as I said at the top of the show, he's been in my top 3 Liverpool performers this season. He's one that has probably gone under the radar for quite a lot of non-Liverpool fans, really. But
I've been trying to say, Jack, I want to see Joe Gomez in a DM position.
Could be a shot,
because he's playing left, he's playing right. When he does go up the middle, he has a lovely pass on him. So I'm just like, and he can get the ball back. If he's got Kwanzaa and Van Dijk sitting behind him and Trent kind of half alongside him, why not?
He's got the pace certainly to play in that role.
Yeah.
I think we've seen this in pre-season. Everyone jumping at the idea and go, "Whoa, whoa!" But Klopp did try it in pre-season. I think don't think it was the Bayern game or one of them. I think he did try him in that inverted role because obviously with Trent, I think was injured at the beginning of the season, or he was given that bit more of extended break. But it's options, lads and ladies as well. But big up there, John. It was a two-table. Wig saying in the comments tonight. It was a candle lit dinner for two. Far from it. Lots of pints. Lots of pints included there, Wigs. And I know he's all had a good. Hopefully, he's all had a good Christmas anyway. I think he's played in the wrong position. Diaz Henry, it's one that we've mentioned. I think Kev mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. Maybe a bit more central, and we very much did see that from Jürgen.
He's more of a lamb than a left winger. He shouldn't be out that far. He's better when he's running out and back in rather than having to run in and back out. If you get me. So it's
gonna be interesting, mate. Keep on getting your comments in. Drop a like on the video as well. Massively helps out. Obviously, YouTube with the algorithm sometimes doesn't push the videos out, but really does help out me and Kev's. And even when Kev's live on his post matches and his live streams, do drop a like on all the videos.
Watch along.
Diaz, some Wigs in the live comments tonight. Diaz needs to adjust. He also needs to work on his game. The cutting back and not running to the line is a big problem on our left side. Without Robbo, no one does it anymore. And it's probably not just Diaz, mate. You look in the Premier League, it's the modern evolution of like wingers in general. I think the most biggest one for me, Kev, is Jack Grealish. When you see him, and even Iron Robben. The thing is, like 20 years ago, Iron Robben, you knew what he was going to do, but you couldn't stop him. It's one thing, and similar with Salah sometimes when he cuts it on his left-hand side. But if Diaz was an Iron Robben or Salah player that could just bend the ball into the back of the net every single time, then sound. But that's where he does come sometimes a bit unstuck. I think when he has to think about
it, he did it at the start when he came over. He ran to the byline and cut it back a lot. He just hasn't been doing it.
Yeah. So hopefully that does improve, mate. But as we've said, Chas, hopefully it does improve. And we'll get to Gakpo as well. Really impressed with him down that left-hand side last night. His best position. Surprisingly, we do see a better performance level. Their Wigs won't even Costas won't even run the line. We need to upgrade in that area for players. Yeah, certainly we'll be improving. Side, mate.
I think Inacio is the guy that Klopp is looking at for that. There's big talk about him coming in at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of bull flying around currently on Twitter. Just be careful who you do follow on as well. But if he does, me and Kev done plenty of videos in the summer about him. And certainly one that
it's a good thing I look up my news outside of Twitter.
Kev with a secret multi-millionaire agents as well. But big up there, Brian. I never agreed with people who said our front three was the best in the league. Nunez and Diaz have done nothing as well. I don't think any Liverpool fans saying that we've got the best forward three in the league. When we had Mane, Salah, and Firmino,
I think what the Liverpool fans are saying is that we've the best attacking options in the league.
Yeah.
So you got when your Jotas fit, your Diaz fit, your Gakpo fit, your Nunez fit, your Salah fit, throw Harvey Elliott into that as well. You got the best attacking options in the league. Other teams only have 3 or 4 that they can chop in and out and change. But yeah, no, I get where he's coming from. A lot of people saying best front three in the league. We had the best front three in the league when we had Mane, Salah,
even in Europe, I'd say.
Europe, yeah. So, but that's got to change, and we've got to adapt with that. So, problem is Klopp is still trying to play Nunez in that false 9 kind of role rather than out-and-out striker. Nunez wants to play there. He's not quite suited to the out-and-out striker role either. But I think he's adapting his game well. Picking up the ball yesterday on the edge of the box and curling that ball into that bottom corner was a lovely, lovely piece of skill. So people are saying he can't finish. He can finish. I think when it's too easy for him, he overthinks the small bit. Once he takes that out of his game, I think he'll be flying.
So the bangers he's missed, like the bangers he scores. Look at the Bournemouth goal in the cup. That goal yesterday, mate. But Barry's teed us up absolutely perfect, and he was my man in a match. Probably a lot of people's man in a match yet again. And as I said, I was very privileged to have gone the West Ham game in the cup last week. And I've seen firsthand, not just with Diaz, but Endo. And I said on my post-match then, his head is constantly on a swivel. like the way in which he scans in the area, and it's, don't get me wrong, when any DM or number 6 loses the ball in the middle of the park, of course, you're going to get counter-attacked, or you're going to look like it's going to be a lot more worse of an opportunity than it was. But Barry said in the live comments tonight, it will be hard to take Endo out of the squad. Now the guy is really stepping up, bar that line mishap last night as well. Yeah, Barry, he plays as a 6, as I said there, mate. And if Endo makes a mistake, say similar with Allison, or one of the centre halves makes a mistake, you're probably going to get counted, or you're going to give an opportunity for the attacking team to get one. But Kev, I'll hold my hands up in the summer. I was not the best pleased with the signing. I don't think, especially off the back of the Caicedo rumours and all that back then, but he's proved quite a large majority of the doubters wrong.
Yeah.
And it's about time we did every Liverpool fan started to really take stock of what type of quality of a player we've got in our team. And as Barry said, we're going to be really, post the Newcastle game in the new year, I'm going to be disappointed that we will. The gap and the quality will be quite obviously missed.
Yeah, I mean, I said he was kind of a stopgap player as well. I didn't say he was a bad player, but I said he was a stopgap player at his age, at 30. But I mean, if you're bringing in a player like that can do the job that he can, you have to remember as well, I mean, the guys that live over that way in Asia, they look after themselves much better than what we do over here. So they're literally like 30-year-olds at 40. So, you have to look at it that way as well. At that time, he gets a bit muscled off the ball a little bit too easy if somebody's leaning over his back. It's just how he plays. He kind of plays with his arse kind of tucked out. So sometimes that fumbles him over. But in fairness, 70% of the time he wins free kicks. The other times it gets turned over, he gets back anyway. So
here's a stat for you, Kev. I don't know if you've seen it. For anyone listening, I think it was Liverpool only conceded 4 shots on target in the last 4 games, and that just goes to show quite evidently how an important role he's had. He's doing his job, and he's massively reaping the benefits of seeing a much improved back line. Even Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk's doing what he should have been doing the last 2 years, but he's had that reoccurring force. So I've got Henderson, I've got Fabinho in front of me. I'm going to have to step back an extra 10 yards and just we're seeing
Endo sits right back on top of him, doesn't he? He does really well when we're on defense. He gets right back there. Like, he's not running back and trying to make it back while there's players bypassing him. He's already back there clearing the ball out with the head or getting the leg in the tackle. So he does well that way. I mean, that's the only little fault that he has, and maybe it's not his fault. Maybe when he does receive the ball and he does take that extra touch, I call it the old Curtis Jones syndrome, where he would hold onto the ball for too long and then lose it. And but maybe he hasn't got an eye line where he can lay it off to somebody without having to go back, and he doesn't want to risk that. But yesterday, or that mistake that he made yesterday, where it kind of went across and was cut out, was just him after working his arse off throughout the whole game, and then all of a sudden he makes one lapse in judgment. But good, brilliant that we had Virgil van Dijk and Kwanzaa in there to deal with. And I know you're going to talk about Kwanzaa in a minute, but I have to read about that.
I had my 5-minute spiel.
He's good. He's brilliant, man. Yeah, he's so good.
Let us know your thoughts on Kwanzaa.
So I have, and I mean, it's effortless. Just looking at it. When he got back for that ball, I seen a post today that if Saliba or any one of these other players did what Kwanzaa did yesterday by getting back and getting that tackle in on that fella, that was going to be a certain goal, they would have been raving about it. They would have getting like 100, 300,000 shares. But because he did it, nobody really mentions it. I didn't even see it mentioned on Match of the Day last night.
And a player's had a good game, though. Like when he's not making the headline. For me, Kev, as I said before, top of the show before you joined me, I wouldn't have any qualms when I anticipate, even when Matip's, if Matip comes back, I reckon Kwanzaa solidified that space for himself till now, the end of May, if he stays fit and he continues playing as well as he has.
I think so. I mean, if he's still developing, he's a young lad, but he's already got the mindset of being a really good top class defender ingrained in him. It's just the development as it goes on, as he gets bigger, stronger, more elite. These things happen. You just want him to pick up those kind of young lad injuries that you get in these situations. So a tip would. that
100% man.
that doesn't happen. But right now, loving what he's doing. He's barely put a foot wrong for a lad at such a young age, and there's not many young lads out there that are having impacts on teams lately. Maybe Miley at Newcastle, maybe Parker at Chelsea. What was that young lad? I love that young lad, the number 14 for Bournemouth. What's his name?
Chas.
I'll get it there. I'll call him out there for a second. I would love that young lad.
The thing was, I think we spoke about it with Kwanzaa a couple of weeks ago with Chat as well. I think was the mistake he made at Bournemouth, and obviously the mistake in which he made, was it against West Ham? But it's the way I love as well. One of the biggest bits about Kwanzaa is he doesn't let that phase him. If he makes a mistake within a game or something, many of the centre back, especially at a young age, really probably think about that for like half an hour in the game, and then continue to make mistakes from now on then. But he's just learning, developing every single thing, and massively helps with the having big Virgil alongside him. But I think even when Virgil might be not there the next couple of weeks or months, if he's getting rested or whatnot, then he is he is the Virgil van Dijk when he's not there. Anyway, he's a man mountain, and he's still got another year left in terms of growing as well.
But he's got what's called, Jack, the calm as you like mindset. There's no panic in him. There's no any. Well, you see, like, I like Ibo and I love Ibo what he does, but he's always like, he's always and he's Mr. Jiggly Legs, as I call him, as he's going on, and he's a bit rash in movement. Whereas, Verge and Quanta are sniper types. They'll wait until the very last second and then get the foot in and knock it away effortlessly. They'll make the person get to the point where they don't have a choice to think of where they're going, and then that's off. Whereas Ibo will kind of be a bit rash at times, but still a very good defender. But Quanta can do that along the back. As long as you've got somebody of that ilk inside in the team at all times, you're kind of laughing as a defensive unit. That young kid's name is Alex Scott, by the way.
Obviously signing from Bristol City in the window. But moving on from Quanta, I think we will do a show in the week about Quanta. Rightly so. It's the night of talking about Quanta. The decisions, Kev and Chat. I was sat home, sat at the
crap.
I was sat round my family members, and all of us with Efford and Jeffrey. And these refs, mate, and this is where the rival fans go, oh, Liverpool. No rival fan can ever say, well, they continue to say it on Twitter, Liverpool, shove that up your backside. Like, if
I don't know where that came from in the first place.
Like,
that came out, sorry, Jack, that came out at that time when that came out with the Liverpool thing. It's because I think James Milner got a decision where he was offside and passed it to Sadio Mane. But yet that season, Liverpool had two profits from VAR, and Manchester United had 13 benefits from the VAR given a goal.
Penalties every single season, wasn't it? So United, well, that's every season. Nuts. And Villa fans, what are you doing? The reason to that shower last yesterday, 2-0 up, but Villa will get top 4. But Kev, it was just a way in which it was like quite laughable. I think even I've seen some quotes from rival fans on socials as well off the back of yesterday's performance, even going, what is happening with like the referees and the Liverpool decisions? They're almost, it's become a joke, and you just laugh to yourself. But that just goes to show the spirit within the squad and the quality and the calmness that you don't let these decisions get to them. But even the Nunez one, mate, like, that was a joke. Like, he doesn't even touch the defender, and he goes down like he's being shot or something like that. It's like, it's ridiculous. That literally, but it's our mate in the middle, isn't it?
Well, exactly, but it led to a goal. So when they said it was reviewed, I would love to hear the conversation. So Tierney's probably in his ear saying, "Don't come to me, don't come to me, don't come to me." Yeah. That's all. That's the kind of way. That's the feeling I got from it, because any representative of VAR. And there's going to be a big... the guys that are up there representing the technology from VAR, some of them are going to start leaking stuff. I guarantee you. Fairly soon, you're going to see so much data on the PGMOL of fellas leaking stuff from recordings where they've told them not to do anything. Exactly the same situation that Mike Dean did a few weeks ago when he was talking about it. He said that I have to look after my buddy, I have to look after his mates. Yeah, stuff like that's going to get leaked, and the credibility of the PGMOL is going to be taken into account. Maybe there's some sort of contract between these guys and the PGMOL outside of the Premier League for it to work like this, and this is why they're kind of so subservient to referees. Well, you need a full-on independent body to come in there, man. Nobody's going to be happy until it's done. It's not going to keep the same.
It's just taking away from what supposedly is the best league in the world when you got these muppets as well in charge. Like last night's game, even it was like just even the decision making was like, what are you watching? Like, and even no one.
Would surprise me if it was your man that gave the one that didn't give the penalty against Manchester United that time. The goalkeeper Onana when he took out the two boys. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a fella like him on VAR because he was useless. He's useless at spotting stuff.
Big up there, Mark. I don't even know. It probably was, mate, but they've all probably.
Is that his name? Actually, no. Did Mark just give his name?
Hooper, the VAR fella. Hooper helped
the Bally fella. Season.
Like he's took away some points from us, but he helped us with that great decision at the Etihad. Joe, where that he didn't give advantage to was it Haaland or Grealish, and that was
probably didn't see it.
It was literally right in front of him. He blew the whistle, even though Grealish was onside. It was shocking. Like,
but it was a terrible decision.
Yeah, yet again, it just goes.
To show you.
It's not just even against Liverpool, even the big games against City, but sod the refs. Joke of every single one of us around the world, with effing and jeffing at the telly or whatnot in the pub, or even the away end yesterday wasn't good enough. But hopefully, the one thing is Liverpool top of the league still.
I still can't see how any of those are not given. Salah was obviously pushed into that offside position. That should be taken into account. That should be taken into account straight away.
Like, well, that's where the rules don't. It doesn't have that. Like, it should be in the rule book if a player gets pushed deliberately. But Kev and chat, you're going to be having in the next couple of weeks now players centre half to be going, ooh, that's what we can do now, is it?
Yeah.
But you won't start giving penalties. You'll have centre half full on, absolutely whacked.
Oh, they'll be shoulder and elbow charging them in front of the goalkeepers. Just to win stuff, it's going to be disgusting.
It's that, like, where would that stop, Kev? Because they've opened a whole can of worms themselves. They're the officials. You'll be seeing in the next couple of weeks attacking players getting completely barged out of the box. But
so if the goal happens, the referee should go back and say, all right, Salah's in an offside position between him and the goalkeeper. How did he get there?
Yeah, how did he get
pushed
there?
Yeah, he was pushed there. So then it has to go back, okay, the punishment is goal. You know, and it should just go like that straight away. It's just, like, you can't have situations creeping up like that where he's trying to stay on side, but your man pushes him off. So Salah can't do anything about it. Your man's hands are on him pushing him off. He can't get out of the way of that. You know,
it's not like he's as you said there, mate. He's wandered over there in front of the goalie. But yet again, chat as well for any City fans watching or whatnot, Premier League fans. Just remember there was a decision at the Etihad this season where one of the Manchester City attackers was in clear eyesight of one of the opposition goalkeeper at the Etihad. But yet again, that was given, but yet Liverpool's one. But it just goes to show that whatever referee you've got, whoever it is, how big or good he is, just depends what the referee can be asked doing on a match day, week to week. Anyway, but sod the refs. What we're going to do, Kev, Darwin Nunez's goal.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Amazing.
Dabby dozy.
He's been trying that. I think he had an effort against West Ham as well, where he can in the post. He's been trying that. We've seen him play through the middle, and it was actually refreshing. We'll speak. Probably tied in with Gakpo, mate. I think it massively benefited that Gakpo was coming off that more favoured left-hand side, as we spoke about in recent weeks. But I was impressed by both of them. And Darwin Nunez, he grew in confidence. We know his qualities, but he just needs to start doing that a bit more regular.
Yeah, I like how much of a battler Gakpo is and stuff like that. Sometimes he doesn't see the early pass on, which I don't like, but he'll always get into a good position to score a goal. I've been very critical of him in recent weeks, how selfish he's been. Wrong, and rightly so on my part, because it was two great opportunities. Joe Gomez could have had his first goal easily against, was it United? Last week when he came on. What a game to get your first goal against. Surely Joe Gomez doesn't miss from an open goal where the keeper's already stepped out to the 6-yard box and he's free. You know, surely he doesn't miss.
If he's going to have, hopefully, that manager in the dugout couple last night, company. Hopefully he has a company moment, Gomez, this season, where he just absolutely thunderbolts it into the top corner from 30 yards, or he goes on a Matip-esque run where he just drops about 3 centre halves and puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, even yesterday, Dominic Szoboszlai shooting was scared the living crap out of all defenses because he gets a dip on that ball with so much power. It's ridiculous. They're just going to, if he starts popping them off one after another, man, you know, we're going to be laughing. Going to get another 12 goals out of him for the rest of the season. I think there's a potential there for that to happen, especially in these games coming up. I think they leave a lot more space. I think Newcastle are going to leave us a lot more space next week in the middle of the park with the way they're playing. They're just defensive mindset, man. I don't know what's going on with them lately, but they try too much to have a possession-based game, and if they're
off a cliff,
if they're too easy to counter-attack, and if they go up against another possession-based team, they're going to lose. So, a stronger one, I should say that. So they're in a weird position at the moment. Whatever's going on, they'll come good by the end of the season. I still think they'll get top 5, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird one. Dom is going to score goals, I think. Harvey was unlucky yesterday.
Yeah, McAllister's not even playing yesterday, mate. Like it goes to show that added that quality. Even Salah absolutely twatting the bar as well with one of his efforts. I'd say if that would have went in, that would have been goal of the month anyway this season.
I think we're missing McAllister just for his creativity alone because we haven't had the benefit yet of it. With Endo now as in form as he is, McAllister comes back fit. Yeah. He's 100% playing where Gakpo plays, where Gravenberch plays, where Jones plays. He's 100% jumping in there, and I guarantee he's going to start. The first thing he's going to do is hold the ball and look for Nunez running through or Salah. Yeah. He's not going to try and take a touch this way and move this way, and then try and take a strike or goal, because that's our biggest problem at the moment. Diaz does it, Gakpo does it too much. Jones tries to do it a bit too much, although Jones is able to hold on to the ball a bit better at times. But for me, yeah, if McAllister comes back in that role, he's going to create so many chances for Nunez.
Yeah, 100% will, miss. And even as I said before, and you've probably seen that stat, Liverpool have only limited their last 4 opponent teams to 4 shots on target, which is absolutely staggering in itself, really. In all honesty, and hopefully that does continue.
You said the same stat as well about that. I think we've only won 13% of the games without knowing the team starting or something, and it's like and it's up to 37% or something now without knowing the team or something in that small period or something. It was something I've read yesterday, but I know it's at least six times the percentage is what we're winning it by. So yeah,
and even Jota as well. One to keep an eye on. Jota scored 42 times in the league. In the Premier League, that is, and he's still not been on the losing side, which is fantastic. One of them stats. I know a lot of you do like these stats. But big up there, Wiggs, as well. We are reading through most of the comments in the live chat tonight as well. Wiggs has put a comment in here. Just speaking to one of the subscribers on the channel. Mark, I'd like to see Thiago shipped out early, Inacio and an English player or 2 Bowen, and Alex Scott will be grilled with homegrown additions as well. 100%, just everyone agreeing with what Wiggs has said there, and just everyone just speaking about Thiago Alcantara. We'll probably do a show in the next couple of weeks. Certainly when the window does open, we probably all anticipate Thiago. Wiggs mentioning he's good. He's on 200 grand a week for pretty much a year doing nothing as well, and that's Kev, as Wiggs has said there. That's two full professional footballers there, like on 100k a week each. And they will play. You'll get a lot more minutes out of them.
Thiago's got to go as much as you need experience on the bench and stuff like that. I mean, there's more than enough experienced players there now at the moment. In Salah, in Van Dijk, even Konaté can be considered experienced. Ali is there experienced. Trent is even an experienced player now. They're in the age. We don't need any more of these tag-along experienced players that just can't do it on the pitch. Thiago, fantastic talent, great thing, but you could see why he didn't make it at Bayern Munich so much. You see why it didn't happen for him at Barcelona, but the glimpses helped, and some of the games he's won us have been fantastic, and he helps in the teams that he goes into. He's just not consistently enough in the team to be able to do anything about it. So, for me, he's got to go. We got to release that wage bill, because I would rather give it to a young talented player at 200k a week than give it to a player that's never available.
Yeah, well, even we know the agreement, and I think we know Trent's getting a new deal very soon. Probably get announced in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye on that. He'll be getting a new deal. Even Van Dijk, Allison probably might be in getting a little bit of a bumper deal, probably to just keep them at the club 100%, million% there. And obviously a couple of the other players in the squad as well. Even Quansah deserves a new deal.
He does.
I think
I'd give half those wages to Quansah, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 100%.
On top of what he's making.
Yeah, and obviously the wages that we've lost in Naby and Knox and everything, so there's still a surplus money there. And obviously with the new standards trying to help, it's an put Liverpool in such a stronger position. But as me and Kevin said, and we'll speak about reviews chat as well next couple of weeks, is if the window is open and if opportunities do present themselves, we know Jürgen has said in the past, if Sutton comes along his desk and says a player's available, Liverpool will think about it and will improve on it. But certainly,
going back to the comments about Alex Scott and Bowen and whatever, if Bowen comes into the club, you're saying bye-bye to Salah. I think if Jurgen Klopp is going for Bowen, I think that Salah's made his position almost untouchable, that the only person that can sit behind him is probably Harvey Elliott, and Harvey Elliott is happy to sit where he is because he'll play a multitude of places. Bowen would be that type player as well, but then you're pretty much sticking your finger in Harvey Elliott's face by saying we're just going to bring in a player that can do what you do do what you do, but scores more goals. So for me, if Bowen is coming in, Salah's leaving.
It's the thing, even Kev, we got to think about, like, always me, you, every Liverpool fan, and even the management. You'd like to hope Liverpool are already planning. Like, post-Salah, if he retires at the club, great. But when that question does come, when that year does finally arrive at Liverpool, we've got to be ready, because we've already felt the drop in quality in terms of down that left-hand side with Sadio Mane. Like, when the season does come where Salah's no longer the club, whether he retires or leaves the football club, Liverpool can't put ourselves in a position where we're trying to replace 30 goals a season. That's an impossible task to do. And hopefully with the likes of Sabuz, like Nunez, if he starts getting 20-odd goals, Jota stays fit, but it's all a world of realms of possibilities, if buts and maybes. But it's a big debate to have, mate, isn't it? It's a very probably the most important decision at the football club.
Well, the one
Jürgen Klopp.
The one thing that I think about Salah is that Salah gets in those good positions because of the position he plays in, and as brilliant as some of the individual goals he's made down through the years, he hasn't done much of that this season. But he's made that individual goal for himself, except for the one against Arsenal. I think that's one of the flair ones we've seen in a while, and you normally wouldn't see many players doing that, and he's capable of doing that. But I'm thinking that if you have a player that can at least finish going into those other... Remember, just think of the amount of chances that Salah misses as well in a game, in comparison to, like, he might score the 1 or 2, but he misses about 5 or 6. But, it never gets pointed out because it's Salah. But there's other players that if you put in that position, you put a Jared Bowen in the creative position of where Salah gets into some of these places, I think Bowen scores those. The ones that can go more direct, you don't have to cut back in your left. So there's a balance there. Maybe Klopp brings them in to say, all right, we're bringing in the likes of Gerrard for a balance, just to balance up, to give, more if you're going off or whatever like that. We need somebody to be able to move into that position and do that role. I'd say I don't care as long as we bring in somebody that can play. I'm not waiting around much anymore. Salah's a great servant for us and I want him to stay for the next 3 or 4 years. But at the same time, I want there to be competition, so that he feels he needs to step up that gear an extra bit. Because lately there's been a lot of pulling out of tackles and a lot of, you used to see him like really strong and busting into lads. Now he's kind of like doing a lot of this, and I'm kind of thinking, that's a bit strange.
Probably we're thinking he's got the African Cup of Nations in a couple of weeks. So it's just going to be one of them. We know how much of a pressure there's on him, not just in Liverpool's shoulders, but carrying his nation as well. But that's where we will step up, and Klopp spoke that in his post-match conference as well, in his presser with Amazon. And it was great to see Amazon actually asked the interviewers. That was proper interviewing questions, not really rattling Jürgen anyway. But it's going to be one of them chats. But Thiago Lee gets injured. We need a winger and score. Salah needs that competition. That's from Wiggs. Salah needs just from Mark Stay. We can't replace him as of now.
Salah doesn't get injured though.
Yeah, it's a good thing, really. And as Henry says, I agree. We have been so lucky with Salah not getting injured. I mean, he hasn't been injured since the UEFA Champions League final in
Finally, yeah.
2018.
Nuts.
Just goes to show how much of a world-class player he is, but in terms of how he presents himself and how he looks after himself. So we've mentioned, obviously, the poor decisions, the great Liverpool performances. Ali didn't have nothing to do yesterday, so we don't really need to speak too much of him. I think we've more or less covered all bases, really, mate. Jota, the final closing points.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, took his goal extremely well. We've spoke about me and you, and obviously when we've had Niall and everyone on the podcast and even chats in the comments the last couple of weeks, we know how important Jota is, but I've said for weeks and months, he can be that difference maker.
Yeah.
You've got Ali at the back, who probably will get you 20, 30 points. Ali wins your seasons as well. So does Salah, so does Van Dijk. But I think Jota can be that final, little bit of magic for this squad. If Nunez isn't firing, but Jota comes in, impacts a game,
yeah,
and can get you 20, 25 goals a season.
You hit the nail on the head there. Jota comes in and impacts the game. I like seeing Jota for the last 30 minutes of games because you're nearly guaranteed a goal out of him. Sometimes if Jota starts a game, unless it's kind of a weaker side, I don't see the same kind of output from him. So I think that I think you need to put a bit of cling film around him and then just say, right, you're coming on for the last 35 minutes of a game. And you've 35 minutes to change the game or help us or do whatever like that. And until he stays completely injury free, because when we start starting him in games within 5 or 6 starts, he's already back on the injury bench. When he comes on and he makes the impact off the bench, I think it's good. I think we need to leave the chaos on at the start and then bring the finisher on afterwards.
The assassin.
So bring the assassin on at the end. That's perfect. Yeah. So bring the assassin on at the end. Leave the chaos on at the start. Leave him tired. Leave your Nunez and your Gakpo's tire out. I actually enjoyed Gakpo on the left more so this time than I did.
The best position, really, mate.
Yeah, it was good. But I'd say leave the chaos on early and then bring on the assassins. And your little Harvey Elliott to create spaces and your Jotas to slot at home. Gravenberch can come on and do a job. You can give Endo a rest at a point of a game. So it's good that we're able to give Endo a rest. So,
I think the Ev have just scored.
Have they?
The audio listeners. Big chance. So the Ev. I know we're a Liverpool channel, but it helps Liverpool in a potential title race. But hopefully it's a long way. They're only 30 minutes into the game, and they'll probably get disallowed anyway.
Have a look.
Yeah.
Kev
and everyone watching or listening. But yeah, really do appreciate it. As Brian said, yeah, he's much better off the bench. 100% agree with you there, mate. I was going to say, hopefully City lose tonight, but that just reaffirms Liverpool's stronghold currently. I think everyone expected them to come back, but that's what happens, Kevin. We spoke about this, and everyone at home. Liverpool just need to focus on ourselves. If Liverpool continue focusing on ourselves, obviously, of course, us as fans, we can keep an eye on the results, but I think that's one thing. The most important thing is Liverpool just keep on getting the points on the board. Come what January, February, we get past the difficult period. Yeah. Get Endo back. Get, obviously, Salah back to full fitness. Spend a bit of dough in the transfer window as well. Yeah. Strengthen when you're on top. Kev, just a final closing point going into the Newcastle game as well, Kev. Won't be an easy game. Obviously, we will have our pre-match build-up show this week. Obviously, we'll get an opposition fan on the channel as well to get their great insight. It's not going to be an easy game, in all honesty, mate. But Liverpool at home have been something of... We know how important our home form has been under Jurgen Klopp, but it's going to be a difficult game. But it's just... I just really enjoy, seeing Liverpool, all of us. It's in such an... just enjoy every time Liverpool play football, mate.
Yeah.
It's what your thoughts going into this Newcastle game? Do you anticipate a shock? What's your expectations going into this game?
Yeah, I just watched that goal. That Everton goal is just after coming up on my screen now. Great goal. City are crap. So what I anticipate Everton going into the game, Newcastle game, I should say. Look, we're at home. We've already done them away. They're already going to have that in their mind. They might try and come at us early and fast. I don't think they have the legs there. They're very injury laden at the moment. We're getting players back. At even at points we were playing then, we were losing players. But yeah, for me, look, just make sure start the chaos, run Dan Burn and all these guys ragged. Kieran Trippier is really not in a good vein of form at the moment. Obviously, you give him a free kick at the edge of the box, he can do it. Bruno Guimaraes, is he even back?
Yeah,
I think
no,
he's
he's
back
been
this
playing.
stage, right?
It's been absolutely stretched for injuries,
Yeah.
mate. It's amazing when Newcastle fans moan about injuries, and he joked about Klopp for the last couple of years, going, "Oh, Klopp's using excuses for injuries." But surprisingly, when you're playing every Wednesday, Saturday, early kickoff, you need a squad, and I think that Newcastle squad, it's phase 1 to 11, extremely good, but they are paying the question. This is what Newcastle fans wanted, and probably if that's a Newcastle fan, where are you ahead of schedule? They probably are, but even Eddie Howe now is getting so much stick, even from Newcastle fans, which is understandable because the levels that they've shown, Kev.
Yeah.
I think he give it another couple of months. If he continues playing management as bad, he could be the next manager on the job.
Eddie Howe, I said this from the beginning, he's a good young manager and stuff like that. He's not going to be backed by a big conglomerate. He's the guy that takes a mid-table team and brings them up to fight for Europe.
Man City, Mark Hughes.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Mark Hughes, Man City. That's what he is. He's Mark Hughes at Man City. That's pretty much what he is. But, you'd want these managers to step up and do it. And he's done really well with Newcastle. Remember, they haven't spent that much money yet. Maybe on that Tonelli fella that let him down with the betting thing. But they haven't spent that much money yet at all. And he's done pretty well with them. So he must be doing something right there. I just think they're injury-laden. Don't blame the manager too much at the moment. I think he'll have him backfiring by the time they come back. But I still think, he's that kind of first manager scapegoat for these new owners. Because I think in their back of their mindset, they don't see him as the full long-term guy. Even though if he is doing well, he'd have to really surprise him by going winning a couple of trophies with Newcastle to stay there.
I could see Mourinho somehow ending up at Newcastle.
Somebody like a Mourinho, even somebody like Zidane. They've got money now, Newcastle, so they can pay these managers the big money, so they can do that. Graham Potter might be waiting in the wings. If they make a move earlier, Graham Potter will get it. If they make a move later and wait until the end of the season, you'll be looking at a Mourinho, you'll be looking at a Zidane, you'll be looking at there's a multitude of managers out there. Jeez, you could even look at a Carlo Ancelotti coming in there. So if you do, he's got the international job, doesn't he?
Brazil, maybe.
You don't know. I might see him in a couple of years. I mean, these guys, as I call them, the leeches, the guys that don't take on the small teams and never win anything and promote teams. I always class and great managers like Ancelotti and Pep Guardiola, but they've never done what Klopp has done. That's what I say. They've never done what Alex Ferguson has done and what Klopp has done, or Arsene Wenger. So this is why I rate these kind of managers above your Peps and your Zidanes and your Ancelottis, because Alex Ferguson did it before, Arsene Wenger did it before, and Klopp has done it, where they brought him up from mediocrity up into like title winning teams. So and then replace teams. It's the importance about having good managers inside in your club for many years. You have to be able to recycle your team. You build a team, it wins stuff. You have to be able to recycle that team as the same manager. It's too often these days clubs are getting rid of managers before they've had to do their 2.0s and their 3.0s and their 4.0s, and they never have stability.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there, mate. Apparently City have just cleared one off the line for any of the audio listeners. But Kev, we'll cap off here because I think we are absolutely going to be missing an absolute world-class game.
I am. My thing is frozen. I'm trying to watch it here.
But Kev, Kev, obviously you can find Kev at Spider LFC. You can find him on the Anfield Road TV. Obviously part of the furniture as well. But for anyone listening or watching on the repeat, do let us know all your thoughts on yesterday's game. Liverpool are absolutely flying in the league, and it's great. It's absolutely fantastic. January is going to be a big month, as we know. Be a lot of transfer shows coming for the next couple of weeks anyway. But Reds, hope you enjoyed your Christmas. You've looked after yourself. You enjoyed all your scran as well. But everyone listening on repeats or whatnot, have a lovely, lovely week as well. We will be here for we've got plenty of shows planned on the channel as well. But as always, Reds, look after yourself, Kev. Massive thank you. But most importantly, everyone, massive thank you to everyone in the post-match or anyone watching on the repeat or listening on Spotify. Absolute legends. As Kev's waving. Say bye-bye, Kev.
Bye, Kev.
Bye, Kev. See you later, Reds. And we're absolutely bloody flying.